Coffee has too many steps, really. Coffee's fantastic. I gotta turn the music down a little bit. I have coffee. I have a big old cup because I'm gonna need it. I've been up for a while. I've already been to the grocery store today. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome to a Shoky sunrise stream. It used to be Shoky Sunday morning. Now it's Shoky sunrise stream. Coke Zero's fine. Don't get me wrong. Dr. Pepper's good too. I mean, as good as any soda is for you. I mean, I can't really criticize. I drink them too. Less now. I will point out I do drink less soda. However, I do drink more Echelon, which is mostly better in a lot of ways. Roughly just a little bit more caffeine than a soda, but actually has vitamins, minerals, hydration, no coloring, no real sugars. It's fun. Either way. Yeah. Guys, it was a long night. Remember how I said, if you were here last night, I said I was going to go to bed and not stay up watching K-pop Demon Hunter reactions? I stayed up till midnight watching K-pop Demon Hunter reactions. I really did. That's not even a joke. I did. That was funny. Either way. What's up, guys? I see Trisha. We got Christine. I'm sure other people will be here. Guys, get your coffee, get your morning drink or evening drink if you're John on the other side of the world. I don't know how time works. Famous last words. Well, look. I'm shameless, okay? I love the fucking movie. It is what it is. And look, I'm 4 months behind the ball on K-pop Demon Hunters. I covered that last night. Everyone watched the movie. Everyone did reactions to it 4 months ago. I mean, there's some people who slept on it like myself, but for the most part, everybody's way behind. It's still good. Can't help it. Songs are still good, still moving. The final song always gets me right in the gut. So it is what it is. Oh, boy. So I also had to go to the grocery store to buy the stuff to make breakfast. So I'm going to be making a breakfast casserole later. I forgot potatoes. Dang it. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I needed hash browns. Crap. I can make it without the hash browns, but it's not going to be as good. Damn it all. Because I had to go back to the store. It was up until after 4 a.m., so I get it. Why? Why? Are you like Chief who can't sleep? So it was really funny. There was an old guy. He literally was the police or fire chief here in our town forever. I've gotten to know him a little bit going out to the bar I go to. And he was telling me last night that he doesn't sleep, or he's up till well after midnight every night, but he'll sleep until noon. And I'm like, dude, I can't even do that. It's like I can go to bed at 4, wake up at 6. It's gonna suck, but that's basically how I'm wired. I mean, if I'm going to bed when I normally wake up, that's a problem in the first place. But that's how I work. But he's telling me he has narcolepsy, which I always took to mean you fall asleep wherever. Not that you can't fall asleep, but maybe it just has to do with your brain not being wired to sleep correctly. I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with decades of being a fireman or like something happened, injury, genetic problems, no idea. But it's like, how the hell do you go through life staying up all night, sleeping till late? Obviously no responsibilities now. He's long since retired, but it is what it is. Also had to grind coffee this morning because we bought some brand new coffee from Lost Pines Coffee Company. Not sponsored, but, you know, whatever. LostPinesCoffeeCo.com. From Montgomery, Texas. Pretty good, pretty good. I haven't had Ethiopian coffee in a while. Feel like I need to get the exact mix right. You know, sometimes when you over creamer it, and then it's just like watery. Plus, I don't know if I put the right amount in, because certain coffees, you got to have the right grind. You got to have the right amount in the thing to brew it. So maybe I'll put it through the little Keurig cup thingy instead of the pot and see if it tastes a little bit better. That happens sometimes. Treat it like a pour over. I will say I was really in a mood last week for Korean coffee. Korean? Yes, Korean. And wait, is that right? I think so. Yes. Either way, Vietnamese. Sorry, wrong one. Vietnamese coffee, and because it's really good, and couldn't find any. Most stores just don't have it at all. Finally found a brand that was sold locally at my HEB, and it was in a pour-over pack, not like Keurig cups or anything else like that, or even just raw coffee. So it came in a pre-made, like almost like a tea bag, realistically is what it was, but it had these like kind of cardboardy props. So you tear the top off of it, it's perforated, you open it up, and then you pour your hot water directly into the bag and do the thing. But I put it under the Keurig and did it that way. Because why not? If I already got a hot coffee pouring machine, or hot water pouring machine, why wouldn't I do that? I get up between 8:30 and 9 no matter what time I go to bed. Yeah, fair. Same. But either way, it also came with creamer packets. Like, not like, it was almost like condensed milk, like sweetened condensed milk. Phenomenal little cup of coffee. It was expensive for 5 cups of coffee, but loved it. Freaking love Vietnamese coffee. It needs to be more available. I'm going to see if anybody sells it in K-cups. Narcolepsy is a chronic neurological disorder disrupting the sleep-waking cycle, causing overwhelming daytime sleepiness, EDS, and sudden sleep attacks in inappropriate times, often due to low brain chemicals, hypocretin, that regulates sleep. Maybe he needs to get on creatine. I've heard creatine is really good for sleeping. Not just for building muscles. Yes, it tastes just a little weak. It's got a good taste, but it tastes weak. Okay, speaking of sleep, my Beam Dream is on the way. Should have one decent-sized box from Amazon, and my box of Echelon comes today. And new hat day tomorrow. Finally, it's been in transit for a long time. Well, it says it's going to be delivered tomorrow. It's coming through the post office. It's Christmassy time. The post office is not very reliable in any way, shape, or form because it hit the Dallas post office on Wednesday. It only just reached the South Houston post office hub yesterday. That's a half a day trip. It doesn't take that long. Either way. Something's going on. I want my new damn hat, damn it. Need my new hat. All right, let me go over to the main screen here. Boop. Oh, I didn't change the me. You're dumb. Do the thing. Boop. Nope. Boop it. There it goes. Where's the one that? There we go. Okay. And I didn't set up everything. You know what happened is I closed everything last night, and I should have left it open. That would have been the thing to do. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm gonna change these lights. They're a little too. looks a little too haunting here. Let's see. What's a better thing to do? Reading. Nope, that's bright as hell. Can't do that. There we go. Also, it's casting shadows upon my face, but it's better than the other things. Okay. Sorry, I was going for ambiance. Like, now you can't see the lights behind me that are slowly making the sunrise. It's very interesting. All right, either way, so I mentioned it last night, so we're going to be doing the Watermelon War from the Fat Electrician, America's stupidest international incident. You can tell I've just got my coffee because reading's hard. And then we've got one that Trisha sent in. Chill Dude explains rules we follow that nobody actually made. That'll be interesting. And I mentioned it last night because Trisha was talking about the raccoon that got drunk. So we're going to watch some habitual line crosser. So we're going to get into some world politics and drunken raccoons. And then we have a versus battle because it's Christmas time and we're going to do this. We've got O Come, O Come Emmanuel from 4 different people, including the somehow controversial Skillet version. People are like trying to cancel Skillet over this music video, I guess. So we're going to check that out. But we've got Jeff, who just dropped his yesterday. We've got Life in 3D that dropped it literally a month ago when it was, Thanksgiving or Halloween-ish times. We got the Skillet version and then the version that I even know at all and have watched a few times, the Melinda version. Now, she made her own kind of version of the song, but we're going to go with it anyways. And then if we don't have anything else coming up yet, I have my 2025 recap for this channel, and it'd be interesting to go through that and see the channels I watch the most, the content I watch the most here, because I did it on my normal channel. And it says, I looked at, 1,200 different channels. I get around on my regular channel, so either way. I have no view outside this morning, only white, getting a little snow. We also have lots of fog, and it's gotten humid and gross outside. I watched this one already and watched Mr. Terry History's reaction to it. Well, you know what, Trisha? You should have waited for me. I mean, I watched it already, but live. When I went to the Unsub live tour, right here, this is my Unsub shelf right here behind me. Oh, wait, where's my... That's my Unsub shelf. So that's where I keep all my Unsub stuff. So I got to Nick put this story together for the Unsub live tour and then did it this way. Okay. 3,400? That's ridiculous. Okay. But then again, I watch a lot of... Here's the thing. The channel I know that I watch the most wasn't even in my top. That's the crazy part. All right. So I'm going to give it a like. Heavy fog. Make sure you guys hit that like button and share it. Poke your friends and be like, hey, wake up. We're watching stuff. Also, guys, if you have anything else to suggest that I go check out, whether that's pop culture, politics, something, let's start discussing things to a degree. Yeah, sorry. Oh, Eric, the lurker, here in the morning. What's going on, buddy? All right, let's go. Watermelon riot time.
All right, fair warning. This one's gonna get weird.
This one's gonna get loud, apparently. Sorry, Nick. I gotta turn you down a little bit. Too loud.
We're talking about the Watermelon War, that time that America and Panama had an international incident over a slice of watermelon, which it kind of sounds weird, but historically speaking, it's really not. I mean, Mexico and France almost went to war over a pastry. America and Great Britain almost went to war a 3rd time over a pig on an island off the coast of Canada. And then there was that one time that Honduras and El Salvador almost went to war over soccer. So, I mean, war is weird. And to be fair, while it is called the Watermelon War, it was more of a riot, but it's kind of called the war because it had such a historical impact on the world. It's crazy. Basically what happened was a drunk American got in a fight with a Panamanian street vendor over a single slice of watermelon. Not even a whole watermelon, just one slice of watermelon. And that created a ripple effect through time that resulted with America creating the Panama Canal. Okay, I'm gonna say that a little bit slower if you're not picking up what I'm putting down. A drunk American got in an altercation over over a slice of watermelon with a Panamanian street vendor, and then it resulted in America cutting the entire continent in half. And I'm gonna explain everything right after word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Element. Okay, look, we've been through this before. They've already sponsored the channel 10 times. They're gonna keep sponsoring the channel, mostly because I keep wanting to work with them. Head over to...
If it's not delete me, I don't want to watch it. It's like I only want to see delete me ads because Mrs. Electrician is in it. What is it? Sunday morning stream? We started doing them a while back, and I did one last night, and I wanted to do a Monday one, or Monday morning one, because I generally wake up and do whatever, and I expected the wifey to sleep longer, but she got up as soon as I got back from the grocery store. But I wanted to do a different stream for the, like this, where we're going to discuss more things, watch things completely different, stuff like that. Get away from our standard reactions.
drinklmnt.com/fatelectrician. I'll have that link down below, and you're going to get a free sample pack with every order. Let's get back to the video. All right, our story begins in the 1840s, and at this point in time, Panama is not a sovereign nation like it is today. Panama is owned by basically what amounts to today Colombia, and the two countries together are known as New Granada. And Panama, in particular, is very important at this point in time as well as today because the Panamanian Isthmus, it's only like 46, 47 miles to cross from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. And it seems counterintuitive, but even though the Panama Canal doesn't exist yet, it's still the fastest way to get from the east coast of the United States of America to the West Coast. The reason for that is you have two options if you want to go from like New York to San Francisco, right? You can A, get in a covered wagon, and then you can drive your covered wagon all the way across the United States of America through cowboy country where bandits are trying to rob you, through Indian territory where Native Americans are rolling up on horseback shooting giant fucking toothpicks at you the entire time. And if you make it, the entire voyage takes you like 6 months. Option B, you can go to New York City, hop on a boat, take that down to Panama, walk 47 miles across the Panamanian Isthmus, hop on another boat, take that up to San Francisco, and that voyage is only going to take you 4 to 6 weeks and is way safer. Because of this, pretty much every major superpower in the world wants control of Panama because they control how fast you can get from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, which is a humongous deal. America's looking at Panama like, how do you guys feel about democracy? The British are looking at Panama like, hey, how would you guys feel about having a king? And the government of New Granada realizes they need to get something figured out, otherwise one of these countries is going to invade, go to war with them, and potentially take over Panama. So they decide they're going to team up with one of these world superpowers, and the superpower that they pick is the one that's closest. They're going to team up with America, and they create the Bidlack Treaty in 1846. And what the Bidlack Treaty essentially says is, okay, Panama is its own sovereign nation.
So, by the way, I have heard this story in a faster form with a whole lot of drunk people yelling over it. So, some of this information is going to be new to me.
We're going to allow you to have your military here. We're going to allow you to transport things across the
Wait. You know what I need to do for this? Hold on. There we go. And put on my unsub hat and hold my quack bang while I watch Nick. Gotta hold the quack bang. Here we go. Hold on. I'm gonna set the quack bang right here. All right.
Panamanian Isthmus. In exchange for us letting you do that for free, you're going to guarantee that Panama remains sovereign. You're not going to invade us, and if anybody else tries to invade us, you're going to come back us up. That's the Bidlack Treaty in a nutshell. And America takes that deal because America's getting everything they want. They don't actually want to own Panama. They just want to be able to transport their shit from left to right, from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
Damn good deal.
And for a while, it works great. People that want to migrate from the East Coast to the West Coast do it through Panama, and then the main reason they end up using this entire thing is so that they can transport mail. So
By the way, this is why I don't wear trucker hats. That literally won't sit any lower on my head. Nick apparently has a very large head, and he has no problem wearing one of these hats, but I can't fit it on my head, except if I open it up all the way, and then it's still not cut good enough. Actually, this works better. I'm just going to do this.
U.S. mail that's going from New York to San Francisco actually travels down to Panama. The Postal Service throws it on a donkey, throws it in a canoe, takes it across the Panamanian Isthmus, loads it on another boat, takes it up to the West Coast. But then somebody in California strikes gold, and suddenly the California gold rush starts, and the traffic going through the Panamanian Isthmus to get up to California explodes exponentially. Now there's tens of thousands of people making this voyage so they can go up to California and try their luck at panning for gold. Then somebody gets a bright idea. Hey, we've got thousands of people that want to get transported 40 miles across this Panamanian Isthmus as fast as possible so they can get up to California. If we make it faster for them, we could probably make a lot of money, so they start building a railroad. Now, instead of having to trek 47 miles across some donkey path, you're just going to be able to board a train, drive it 47 miles, hop on a boat, you're good to go. So they start building this railroad. They employ a ton of local Panamanians to build the railroad for them, and it's a humongous boost to the Panamanian economy. That's where everybody's making all.
I will say, at least this hat allows a breeze to get through to my head, so it's not as hot as my standard hats.
Of their money. It's going great. Then to support the railroad, there's all kinds of other businesses coming in. They're throwing up hotels, they're throwing up bars, they're throwing up casinos, so people have stuff to do in that area while they're waiting to board the train, or once they get off the train, they can buy more supplies, whatever the case is. So they're throwing up a bunch of businesses as well. And fairly quickly, it's like this little tiny America inside of Panama. There's all these different businesses. You've got all these travelers coming through, spending money. It's an economic powerhouse. But we all know the saying, more money, more problems. I'm pretty sure Gandhi said that, but regardless, because of all this new money coming in, people and organized crime come in to take advantage of it, and there's a bunch of Panamanian bandits that are robbing people and disrupting the construction of this new railroad, so that pisses off the railroad company. So the railroad company hires a guy to solve the problem, a guy by the name of Randolph Runnels, who was a Texas Ranger up until this point. Just for the record, everybody thinks a Texas Ranger is like some weird state of Texas version of like the FBI, which today it kind of is, but back in the day, the Texas Rangers were basically Green Berets. These were special forces dudes that were going out into the wilderness and fighting off Native American tribes using guerrilla warfare tactics. These were not the guys that you wanted to fuck with back in the day.
You come to the wrong place.
I mean, I don't know if he'll cover it here, but of course, if you watch the Sam Houston one, he basically claims Sam Houston was effectively the first Green Beret.
It's the dog way, boy.
That's right, old man.
Watch those fancy shoes.
It's a real mess, you get it point blank, but I'm happy to do it for you.
So Randolph Runnels and his boys come in and they start capturing and killing all of the bandits, so much so that the locals end up referring to him as El Verdugo, the hangman, and everybody's absolutely terrified of him. He's notorious. And that pretty much puts a kibosh to all of the bandits. And then the railroad gets finished and all of the local Panamanians that were building the railroad get laid off and basically get told, okay, thanks for building our shit, now fuck off. So now the railroad's making a ton of money. All these local businesses supporting the railroad that are also owned by Americans, bars, saloons, the whole 9 yards, they're all raking in a bunch of money as well. And the Panamanian locals have just kind of been kicked to the curb. There's like this little America that they're no longer allowed in. They can't afford the property there. They can't live near it. They're no longer reaping any economic benefits of it. And because of this, there's a lot of resentment from the locals towards this new American business, which, to be fair, completely understandable. They built the fucking railroad and now they're not benefiting from it at all. And to be fair, I have no historical evidence to back this next part up. This is me assuming a couple of things, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that the Americans that were coming through and traveling weren't super respectful of the local Panamanians, because you got to realize the Americans that are coming, these are all people that are like, okay, we have like cobblestone streets and streetlights in a modern society in New York City. I'm going to risk all of that. I'm going to move out to the wilderness in California and risk my entire existence on my ability to dig up a shiny fucking rock. Okay, these are not risk adverse people. These are people that are willing to gamble at all. So I'm assuming when they show up, they're not being respectful of the local population, and I would assume that makes it 10 times worse. Okay, I don't like it when people come in.
I mean, that's kind of how humans do. You know, you can't really make that necessarily an American problem. That's just kind of how humans do. It's like, oh, I'm just coming through here. I'm trying to get somewhere else. I got to pass through your territory to do that. I mean, sorry about what might happen if we cross paths. Shit happens.
Into my small town and increase the wait time at the local restaurant. I definitely don't like it when they're being drunk assholes about it the entire time. That's just...
This reminds me of when the trucktard invasion happens once a year, sometimes twice a year. The trucktards invade. They ruin all the streets. They take over all the restaurants. drive like assholes, cause all kinds of problems. So I totally understand what he's talking about. And I don't like it either.
Common sense. So that's what's going on in the background
But
leading
that's
up
how
to the
humans
Watermelon War. Then on April 15th, 1856, a bunch of Americans get in from the boat. They're waiting on the train to come pick them up. They've got a layover. One of these Americans is named John Oliver. Here's an artist rendition of what I believe he looked like.
First of all, nice Photoshop job. Should have added some grain to the face there. For those who can't see it, he made the joke on stage that John Oliver here is the Brandon Herrera of the day. If you don't know who Brandon Herrera is, AK guy. Just officially got on the ballot for election next year to be the rep of Texas District 23. He better win. All right, either way, and of course he has the Medal of Honor on there because he's Brandon. I have the unsub Purple Heart back there.
And John Oliver, like most Americans, determines, okay, I got to sit here for a couple of hours waiting on this train to come pick me up. I'm going to the bar so I can get hammered. So him and his boys go out to the bar. They start drinking. They get absolutely obliterated. And it just turns into the movie The Hangover. They start bar hopping from bar to bar. And as they keep hopping from bar to bar, they keep getting further and further away from the train station. And the further away from the train station you go, the more and more it starts to look less like America and more like Panama.
We don't have no
shit.
beer, just tequila.
What's tequila?
Yeah, it's like beer.
If it's like beer, we'll have some. 3 tequilas.
Tequila is not like beer in any way, shape, or form.
Now, somewhere along the line, they cross paths with a Panamanian street vendor that's selling slices of watermelon by the name of Jose Luna. And depending on which source you want to read, there's two.
Yeah, we got church tonight. That's the only reason I can afford to do Monday morning. Or why do I keep saying Monday? Sunday morning. I'm going to need more coffee.
Two different versions of what happens next. Version number one is that John Oliver is being a drunk asshole. He walks up, grabs a slice of watermelon from Jose's cart, just starts eating it, and refuses to pay. Version number two of the story is that Jose Luna kind of does the tourist trap thing where the local street vendor comes up and like makes it seem like he's giving you a gift for free, and then after you know, put it on or you start eating it, he then expects you to pay him. Regardless of which version of that story it was, the fact of the matter is Jose Luna now believes that John Oliver owes him a dime for this slice of watermelon, and a dime for a slice of watermelon at this point in time is an outrageous sum of money.
There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy, that's a dollar bill!
So they get into an altercation over this watermelon, they're arguing back and forth, and finally one of John Oliver's buddies, whose name has been lost to time, but
I'm pretty sure that's A Million Ways to Die in the West. If you haven't seen it, it's ridiculous. Also, more face replacements here. We've got Donut Operator.
here's an artist rendition of him. He decides that he's had enough of hearing about this. He'll just pay for the watermelon. So, like an adult trying to de-escalate the situation, he pulls a dime out of his pocket and then overhands it at Jose's face, hits him right in the forehead. At this point, Jose, pissed off, pulls out a knife, to which John Oliver, being the American in the situation, does what Americans do and pulls out a gun. So now we've got a standoff. Okay, things are tense. Everything is frozen. We've got a knife. We've got a gun. They're standing there. Everything's going fine. Everything's going great. This is the point where everybody's like, okay, you got your dime. We're going to leave. We're clearly the assholes here. Everybody can just go about their merry way. But then one of Jose Luna's buddies, whose name also has been lost to time, so we're just going to go ahead and call him Hose B. Hose B jumps in and tries to grapple the gun away from John Oliver, and during this altercation, the gun goes off and shoots an innocent bystander.
Right in the ass.
You mother...
And that's it. It's done. This is the match that lit the powder keg. We've got like a decade of racial tensions between the locals and the Americans, and an American, whether he did it intentionally or not, just shot a Panamanian, and within a minute, the entire thing just devolves into a massive riot. Panamanians are coming out of everywhere with clubs and rocks and sticks and knives and machetes and whatever else they have, and just start beating the shit out of the Americans. And the riot just keeps growing and growing and growing, and eventually they're in the American part of town. They're looting and destroying all.
All right, so this sounds bad for obvious reasons. This doesn't sound good. Somebody got shot. Now people are attacking Americans. There's a treaty. Remember, we got a treaty. But as far as I know, because Panama still exists, they didn't touch the boats.
Of the American businesses, the bars, the hotels, all of it. They're destroying and stealing absolutely everything. The Americans don't know what to do, so they all fall back to the train station. They barricade themselves inside, and they're sending out telegrams asking for help, and those get cut short because the Panamanians start ripping down the telegram lines. They rip up one of these phone poles and start using it as a battering ram, trying to get inside the train station. They're gonna kill absolutely everybody. Then the Panamanian cops show up. The Panamanian cops are kind of like this middle ground of like, they're Panamanian, they're probably also very frustrated with America being drunk assholes inside their country all the time, but also they're working for the city. The city understands that that's bringing in a ton of money, so they kind of have a vested interest in just squashing the entire riot. They're not really gunning for the Americans like everybody else. Yet. As the Panamanian police are trying to break up this riot, one of the Americans from inside the train station shoots out the window and shoots one of the Panamanian cops, at which point the Panamanian cops are like,
oh, hell no.
oh, hell no! So now the cops are on Team Riot, and just as it's starting to look like they're gonna break into this train station and it's gonna be a massacre, a train pulls up. Okay, it wasn't there. Don't know exactly what went down, but in my head, I imagine this train slowly rolling up and coming to a stop, and before the doors open, the whole mob has just like stopped, and they're now looking at this train like Americans just showed up. We're gonna beat their fucking ass. And then the train doors open, and out walks El Verdugo. Fucking Randolph Reynolds and all of his Texas Ranger buddies walk out with guns, aim them at the mob, and Randolph Reynolds says, drop your weapons. At which point, the Panamanians drop their machetes, their sticks, their rocks, their clubs, whatever they got, and they just fucking run. They're already scared shitless of this guy. He's a living, notorious legend. They take off. The riot is over. The smoke clears, 18 Americans have been killed, 2 Panamanians have been killed, a bunch of American businesses are destroyed. They were ripping up the railroad tracks, they ripped down all the telegram lines. It's a complete disaster. But it's not over yet because the American government hears about what happened and they have the typical American government knee-jerk reaction and they send in the Marine Corps.
Yes!
That's what you do. Yeah.
That's awesome!
The Marines land in Panama 3 days after the watermelon riot, which is outrageously fast considering how long it takes for any communication in the 1840s. So the Marine Corps gets there, nothing really happens, they never fire
Yeah, it's not like you texted him, hey.
a shot. Basically, the entire thing is over by this point in time. However, now the government of New Granada is pissed off that America just sent its military into their country. Like, that's an act of war. This is kind of a big deal. So the government of New Granada is like, you can't have your military in our country. To which America pulls the Uno reverse card, and they're like, actually, we can. We've got the Treaty of Bidlack that says we can have our military here to secure our own affairs, which is exactly what we're doing. To which the government of New Granada is kind of like, shit, they gotta.
That sounds weirdly familiar. Can't have military somewhere, but they can as long as they're securing the things that are theirs to protect directly. It's weird.
Point. Okay, fine. The military can be here, do whatever you got to do, and then get out. America, in typical American fashion, then doubles down and is like, by the way, whether it's our fault or not, whether we started this fight over a slice of watermelon, you guys destroyed a bunch of our stuff, the New Granada government is going to pay for it. They fold, they agree to pay America $400,000, which is a ridiculous amount of money at this point in time as a settlement between the two. And then America triples down and uses this as an excuse to create American military bases on the islands right off the coast of Panama. So now America has military bases right off the coast of Panama, and they have the diplomatic justification to be able to use their military anytime anything is going on the Panamanian Isthmus that they don't like, which they end up using and deploying the Marines like 15 more times over the course of the next 5 decades. So now we're in the early 1900s, 1903, America's got a president by the name of Teddy Roosevelt.
Here it come. Oh, here it come.
And Teddy Roosevelt decides he wants to build the Panama Canal. He wants to be able to drive his boats right through Panama to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific and vice versa, and that's what he wants. So he goes to the Colombian government. The New Granada government has been renamed to the Colombian government somewhere within the past 50 years. It's the Colombian government now. Doesn't matter. So he goes to the Colombian government and asks for a treaty so he can build the Panama Canal, and the Colombian government refuses.
Oh.
Hey, Val.
Oh, no.
Which is a bold strategy considering that Teddy Roosevelt's most famous quote is, "Speak softly, but carry a big stick," which is literally a reference to you should always use diplomacy first, and if diplomacy doesn't work, you should use force. And at this point in time, a lot of the Panamanians were really upset with the Colombian government because Greater Colombia kind of treats Panama like a backwater. They're not investing in infrastructure. They're not really treating them as an equal part of the country, so there was a lot of resentment built up there. So Teddy Roosevelt goes in and is like, basically, hey, look, if you guys have a revolution, America's gonna back you, which is kind of the nudge they needed. So they start a revolution trying to get their own independence from Colombia, and Teddy Roosevelt sends the American Navy and gunships to block Colombia from sending any reinforcements. Because of this, Colombia doesn't even really try to stop the revolution. They're not able to send their military in there, and the entire revolution is relatively bloodless and nonviolent. And Panama becomes its own sovereign nation, and you're never going to believe this, but the new Panamanian government is willing to sign a treaty to let America construct the Panama Canal.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
And there you have it.
Yeah,
that is the story of how some dude found gold in California, which led to an American getting drunk in Panama, getting in a fight over a slice of watermelon, which led to Teddy Roosevelt cutting an entire continent in half. The more you know, I guess. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe pick up some Echelon Energy, go check out Pepperbox. Links for all of those are over at thefatelectrician.com.
It better be here today.
Clack, bang, out.
Get new Echelon flavors today.
Not gonna lie, I pride myself on never using clickbait. If I tell you that prohibition led to 2 billion pounds of cheese being in an underground cave in Missouri, I mean it. And if I tell you that a slice of watermelon made Teddy Roosevelt cut an entire continent in half, that's exactly what happened. See you later.
It's true. It's true. He doesn't do clickbait. Speaking of clickbait, I need more coffee. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave the camera on. Coffee. Try not to burn my hands. Damn, that's hot. Okay. What is this? That is what happened. Dang it. Sorry. Got some boogers. Okay, so that's it for Watermelon Wars. War. It sounds better when you say wars. All right. Also, I turned off my overhead fan so my coffee will stay warm. That's annoying when it doesn't. Okay. Now, one thing, if you have not seen it, the Angry Cops victim goes too far and is arrested video is crazy and very rage-inducing. All right, hold on, wait. Okay. Let me know when it stops. You know, there's a time delay. All right. Either way, so, Trisha, rules we follow that nobody actually made. I am actually intrigued by this. I've never checked out this channel. Chill Dude Explains. All right, so here's a list of all the things. Car radio silence, the ATM bubble, the one-trip carry, elevator rule, thermostat touching taboo, last slice standoff. All right, shopping cart test. Oh, that rule is established. Sorry. The thanks you too mistake. That's funny. Sitting in the same seat and the volume number rule. Oh, where you gotta have it on an odd number. Yeah, volume has to be on an odd number. All right, let's check it out.
Let's get right into it. Number 10, the car radio silence.
I hate the AI voice already.
You're driving along, jamming to your favorite tunes, when suddenly you realize you're lost. What's the first thing you do? You turn down the radio. How exactly is lowering Taylor Swift's volume going to help you find your way?
No one
It's not
knows.
like the street signs are going to whisper directions to you. Scientists have found that this actually works. Your brain only has so much processing power.
Yeah.
It's like having too many tabs open on your computer.
Close
When
your
you're
tabs.
lost, your brain is already working overtime.
Yep.
It's checking street signs, looking for landmarks, and trying to remember if you've seen that weird-looking house before. Adding music to that mix is like...
Well, the funny part is that how often will you just, well, in modern day now, pause whatever you're listening to figure out where the heck you're going? Not just turn the music down. When it's just straight up radio, yeah, you're turning the music down.
trying to solve a math problem while someone's singing in your ear.
Yep.
Brain scans show that when you're listening to music, part of your visual processing power actually gets weaker.
Really?
Sound literally makes you slightly more blind. It's why you might catch yourself squinting when you turn down the radio. Your brain is like, finally, now I can see properly. It's not just getting lost.
So if you're rolling down the road, bumping your music insanely loud to the point that bass is literally shaking other vehicles in traffic, is that person functionally, like, retarded?
People do this when they're parallel parking too. As a driver, you turn it down.
Yeah,
As a
you
passenger, you instinctively get quiet. It's like we all collectively decided, shh, let them concentrate on not hitting that Porsche. But nobody ever made this rule. We just do it. Scientists call this cognitive offloading. Basically, your brain is throwing unnecessary stuff overboard when it needs to focus. So next time you find yourself turning down Beyoncé because you can't find the right exit, don't feel weird about it. Your brain is just being a good captain, making sure all power goes to the navigation systems. Number 9, the
Fair.
ATM bubble. Ever notice how everyone just knows to stand way back when someone's using an ATM? No one taught us this. There's no sign that says please stand 6 feet away while Bob checks his sad bank balance. But somehow, we all follow this unwritten rule like it's carved in stone. This invisible bubble is way bigger than normal personal space. You wouldn't back up 6 feet when someone's ordering coffee, but at the ATM, we treat each other like we're all carrying some highly contagious...
Well, it got to a point where they literally have a sign over the ATM button to say to make sure you cover it so no one sees your PIN number. So I assume that, well, it may come from, maybe he'll cover it. A lot of times ATMs are in their own little kiosk. Like, it's a whole little thing that you got to, like, go into. Like, obviously, if you're doing a drive-up bank or whatever, it's not that way. But it almost like a booth for the ATM. So realistically, you couldn't pack people in there tight. And maybe once it opened up, people didn't change that.
disease. And if someone breaks this rule, it's pure chaos. Your brain immediately goes, are they trying to rob me?
Oh, yeah, because the car will pause or mute the audio when you put it in reverse if it has a camera, for sure.
Are they
does
trying
it.
to peek at my PIN? Or are they just a psychopath who doesn't understand basic ATM etiquette? Scientists actually studied this. They found that our personal space bubble normally extends about arm's length. But at
About 3 feet.
ATMs, it grows significantly. This bubble is so powerful that people will literally press themselves against walls or pretend to be super interested in their phones just to show they're not looking. Everyone turns into amateur actors.
Yep.
Oh look, This brick wall is fascinating. The craftsmanship. This rule exists everywhere. From New York to Tokyo, everyone just knows. It's like we're all part of this secret global
Sorry, I got a
society of
booger, it
respectful
won't go away.
ATM users. Number 8, the one-trip carry. You're standing in your driveway, staring at all the grocery.
Look, it's only about efficiency. That's all it is. One trip. I don't want to come back to the car. I hate coming back to the car. Even back in the day, I hated doing that. So it's just like, how many things can I get on my arm? And it was only like a 15-foot walk from the back of the van to inside where we drop off the groceries. So I'm like loading up. But even to the point where like now, if we're going to the proper grocery store, we're also on the 3rd floor. There's no going back. If it's left in the car, it's staying there till we leave again tomorrow. No joke, I still have a bag of charcoal pellets in my back seat because I don't want to bring it up. Either way, we have IKEA bags, like the big IKEA bags, and we take them with us to the grocery store, so that way we don't have to do more than one trip. We just load it all up that way. Way easier to carry multiple bags.
Bags in your trunk, and something in your brain just clicks. I can do this in one trip. Never mind that no one's keeping score. Your caveman brain has decided
We are keeping score.
this is now a test of your worth as a human being.
Yep.
So you start the elaborate process of becoming a human octopus. 4 bags on the left arm, 6 on the right, 2 bags wrapped around your
One
pinky
finger,
like
yep.
some kind of plastic noose, a
100%.
gallon of milk wedged in your
Under your
armpit.
armpit, yep.
There's no official rule book that says, thou shalt carry all thy groceries in a single journey. Your neighbors aren't posting.
I mean, it's a social rule, but realistically, it's not a rule. But back in the day when I used to get 12 packs of Cokes all the time, you know, and they were 3 for $10 or whatever they used to be, you know, when things were sort of affordable. But I was living alone. I had to get all my groceries myself, and my apartment was down the sidewalk and then upstairs. So once again, definitely mattered that I needed to get everything in one go. So if I would minimize to about 6 bags total, but I need a hand free for keys, so I would get as many bags as possible on one arm and then holding 2 12 packs with my 4 fingers through the holes, and then the other one under the armpit over here, so that when I have the keys in my hand, I can do the thing. Very awkward for going upstairs, but you know, whatever.
On social media about the shameful person who took 2 trips to bring in their shopping. But here we are, looking like we're training for some weird Olympic event called extreme grocery transportation. People will literally risk dropping their
EGT,
eggs,
yeah.
crushing their bread, and permanently deforming their fingers just to avoid that second trip. And then comes the final boss battle, getting your keys out of your pocket.
Always have
You're
your
doing
keys
this
in your
weird
hand.
dance trying to reach your keys without dropping $200 worth of groceries all over your porch. Meanwhile,
Yeah, it would suck dropping a whole bag like that.
your fingers have turned purple, and you've lost all feeling in your left hand. This isn't
Don't
a
put it on your
generational
hands, put
thing.
them on your arms.
Your grandparents did it. Your parents did it. And now you're doing it. It's like we're passing down this weird tradition of self-imposed suffering. Back in my day, we carried all the groceries in one trip, uphill both ways. Number 7. The elevator rule. Everyone in an elevator faces forward and stares at the doors. Nobody ever told us to do this, but we all do it anyway. Scientists studied this behavior. Turns out we're acting like animals in a confined space.
What was it? Hold on. I wasn't. Come on.
The elevator rule. Everyone in an elevator faces forward and stares at the doors. Nobody ever told us.
Look, nobody has to tell you to do anything. We're animals. It's monkey see, monkey do. However long elevators have existed, people have probably done this. One, because it's the only entrance in and out, and you're going to keep an eye on that for safety reasons. I mean, modern day people are staring at their phones in elevators. That's how you get got or miss your floor by 17 floors. But the other thing about it is, yeah, you face the entry. Unless you have a big, you know, glass window elevator, in which case you look out. You got something to look at. There's nothing to look at in an elevator. In fact, you're trying to probably not even look at the other people who stink and have farted and stepped in stuff and have very loud children. Sometimes a cat. No, I'm going to stare at the doors and or the buttons. Because the other thing is, you got to get off at your floor, but you're in the back of the elevator. You're getting off way earlier than everybody else who just got on. So you got to pay attention.
To do this, but we all do it anyway. Scientists studied this behavior. Turns out we're acting like animals in a confined space. When animals are forced into tight spaces with others, they pretend the others don't exist to avoid conflict.
And odds are they keep their backs to the wall. In a front and back kind of what's that word I'm looking for? Freight elevator type situation. Odds are they keep their back to the walls, not to the doors.
We do the exact same thing. There's an invisible bubble of personal space around the control panel. If someone's standing there, we'll do Olympic-level gymnastics with our arms just to avoid reaching across them.
True.
When someone faces the back of the elevator, everyone else thinks they're about to star in a horror movie.
Yeah.
When someone tries to start a conversation, everyone starts checking their phones like they just got an urgent message from the president. Elevators are actually one of the safest forms of travel. You're more likely to get hurt walking upstairs. But put people in an elevator and suddenly everyone acts like they're in a tiny metal coffin. We do this weird shuffle dance, moving slightly to make sure we're as far from others as possible. Like we're playing some bizarre game of human Tetris. This happens everywhere.
Yeah, but as previously stated, people are gross nowadays. Like, I swear to God, people's level of hygiene has gone down. I don't know what's going on. I do have to go in an elevator fairly regularly at work. At the same building all the time. I swear to God, people's hygiene has plummeted. Like, and also the smokers and the weed smokers who just apparently don't have any ability to smell things. They just get in the elevator and everybody else is like literally like holding their breath. And it's a building with only 4 floors, and they're holding their breath the entire time because it smells so damn bad.
There are elevators.
Yeah. If you're the guy by the buttons, yeah, that's you. You are the button pushing person.
Tokyo to Toronto, we're all doing this weird door-staring ritual. Even in cultures where people typically stand closer together, they still do the elevator shuffle. Number 6, the thermostat touching taboo. Touching someone else's thermostat feels like you're breaking into Fort Knox. There's no law against it. No ancient scripture saying, "Thou shalt not touch thy neighbor's temperature control," but somehow, we all know you just don't do it. Studies show that disputes over thermostat settings are one of the top causes of roommate and office conflicts.
Yep.
One study found that 3 out of 4 workers secretly...
We don't fight about the thermostat here. We keep it at a temperature that is comfortable, both either hot or cold for the most part. Like right now, it's set at 73 on heat, but it's pretty much 73 degrees outside, so there is no heat blowing. On the cold side, we leave it at 76 because that's either too cold or just the right amount, especially if you have the overhead fans on. There is no fighting over such things.
Adjust the thermostat when no one's looking. It's like thermal espionage. The whole "don't touch the thermostat" rule actually has some historical roots. Back in the 1970s, during the energy crisis, government campaigns focused on saving energy. They turned thermostats into sacred objects that only the head of the household should control.
That's why also you should never have a smart thermostat that can be accessed by the internet, because then you might end up like certain places in Colorado where the government will literally change the temperature in your house to save electricity and will fine you if you fuck with it.
That messaging stuck around, but it gets worse. Most office buildings still use temperature standards from the 1960s. These were based on the metabolism of a 40-year-old, 154-pound man in a suit. So if you're not exactly matching that description, you're probably either freezing or sweating. No wonder people are sneaking around adjusting thermostats like cat burglars. Some people install...
First of all, being freezing is definitely better than sweating your ass off. You can add layers, but in a professional office setting, you're not removing layers. You can get a blanket, you could wear a jacket, whatever. It's way easier to do that. Plus, with far more electronics, you want it colder. So, sorry.
All literal cages around their thermostats. This unwritten rule is so powerful that people will literally sit there sweating or freezing rather than risk the social crime of touching someone else's thermostat. Number 5, the last slice standoff. You're at a pizza party and there's one slice left. Everyone's staring at it like it's the last water bottle in a desert, but nobody's reaching for it. Everyone keeps insisting that someone else should take it, while their stomachs are growling louder than a motorcycle.
Depending on the pizza, I will always take it, but I'm fat and I don't care. Also, I probably bought it. In this house, the person who bought said pizza gets the last slice. That's only fair. But then again, there's only 2 of us. We're splitting it in half. There's no oddball number of whatever to deal with. Now, if you want to be a real ridiculous person, cut it into an odd number without the other people realizing it. Like, take the time, purposely cut it into an odd number, so the odds are there will be a single slice left over.
Gang. People start cutting that last slice into smaller and smaller pieces. Like they're trying to
have
solve
seen that.
Zeno's paradox with pepperoni. Nobody actually made this rule. There's no ancient scroll that says, "Thou shalt not taketh the final slice without offering it to others at least 3 times."
Well, if it was an ancient rule, it would be the first slice is for God.
Scientists actually studied this behavior.
No, they didn't.
They found that this last slice syndrome exists in pretty much every culture. It's a game of politeness chicken. This rule changes based on who you're with. With strangers, you'd rather die than take the last cookie. With your best friend, you might fight over it. With your siblings, there was never a last cookie because you were fighting over it before the first one was even eaten.
Yep.
Scientists think this behavior evolved as a way to maintain social harmony. Back in our caveman days, being too greedy could get you kicked out of the group, and being alone meant becoming something's dinner. So our brains developed this weird, better safe than sorry approach to sharing resources. The irony is this politeness rule actually wastes a ton of food. Our fear of looking greedy is literally filling up.
If you're throwing away pizza, there's something wrong with you. I mean, unless it's actually gross. Yeah, that's fine. Also, apparently, you shouldn't refrigerate pizza. It's a big debate. Refrigerate your pizza leftovers, assuming they have any, or leave them out. Like, not open and gross. Close the box and set it off to the side. But do you refrigerate it if you're going to eat it the next day? Are you going to refrigerate it? Or are you going to leave it in the box? It's a legit debate.
Landfills. Number 4, the shopping cart test. Returning your
This is a rule. Sorry, this is a socially enforced rule. If you do not take your cart to the cart corral, buggy corral, whatever, you don't have to take it all the way back up to the store. You are a monster if you don't do that. And you deserve anything that happens to you if you fuck up and you leave it in a place that it can hurt someone else's car. The karma should come for you. Shopping cart karma is real. So much so that I had to, before I unloaded my groceries into my car and went to go put my little buggy, because they have little and large, in the corral, and somebody was a moron and put a large buggy in the small section of the corral. So I had to correct this. There were small buggies in the large buggy corral, and there was a big one. I took the time to fix it. Social cohesion. Make things function properly for everyone else. If it takes 2 seconds out of your day to fix everything for everyone else and make your day slightly better in the same process, do it. Don't be a monster. Don't be a dickhead.
shopping cart is what some people call a perfect example of being a good person.
Yes, but you're going to
when
reheat
no
it
one's
anyways,
forcing you
which will
to.
soften
There's
it.
no law saying you have to return it.
Yes,
No one's
there is.
going to fine you if you don't.
They
The
should.
cart police aren't going to show up at your door.
They absolutely
It's a task
do.
that offers no reward, but
Yes, it
prevents
does.
minor inconvenience for others. The state of the parking lot can actually change how people behave.
Yes,
If people
absolutely.
see abandoned carts everywhere, they're more likely to just leave theirs too.
Yep.
This is an example of the broken windows theory.
It
When we see
absolutely is.
signs that others don't care, we're more likely to stop caring too. It's the
That is 100%. 100%. Oh, it's already a mess? I can leave a mess too. I can tell you right now, that is how this house functions. It's already shitty, who cares? And then, like, 2 weeks later, when there's a fight happening about the cleaning, you know, we all realize that, oh yeah, we probably should have just gone ahead and taken the responsibility. So, put your fucking carts away. Or be like Aldi and, you know, charge a quarter or whatever to actually get said cart. And then, if you're cool, you can make some money by, hey, you want me to go ahead and return your cart for you? So you take the cart back, and you get the quarter.
same reason a clean bathroom stays clean longer than a messy one.
100%.
Some stores tried to fix this by making you put a
There
coin
you go.
in to get a cart.
Correct.
In some cases, this can backfire.
Yeah.
People feel like since they paid for the cart with their deposit,
They don't
they
have
are
to
no
put it
longer
back.
morally obligated to return it. It becomes a business transaction. The deposit can remove
I
the
love I
moral
just said
decision
this.
and turn it into a financial one.
I
Number
literally
3,
said this, yeah.
the thanks you too mistake. The ticket person says, enjoy your movie, and you reply, thanks, you too. Then you walk away wanting to crawl into a hole and never come out. It's like when the waiter says, enjoy your meal, and you hit them with that, you too.
This would be much better if this was a real person actually saying these words instead of a stupid computer voice.
This happens to almost everyone. It's your brain running on autopilot. Our brains are lazy. They create shortcuts for common social situations. It's like having a pre-recorded message ready to go.
Oh, there was somebody at our first apartment. They would bring home, they clearly were walking to the grocery store, and they would bring home the carts and they would leave them in the parking lot by the dumpsters, which were close-ish to our unit. But the fun part is the doors on this apartment were so wide, you could just roll the shopping cart into your kitchen. Like, we would unload the car into the cart, roll it up. There was just one little sidewalk blip. Roll up to the frickin' door, roll it all the way to our kitchen, unload our groceries straight up out of the buggy, and then put it back where I got it. So I would even put it back where I got it in our own parking lot. That was fantastic. It's like, I mean, we're on the top floor here. There's no doing that, but I was about to rig up a pulley system.
When someone says, have a nice day, you automatically say, you too. But sometimes the
You too,
wires
yeah.
get crossed. Like when the dentist says, your next appointment is in 6 months, and you say, you too. Now the dentist thinks you're planning to examine their teeth in half a year.
That doesn't make
Scientists
sense.
have found that a huge portion of our daily action.
I really don't think scientists have found any of these things. I will say there's another part to this that is really strange, and somebody brought it up in, I don't know, whatever video, talking about manners and the way people talk. When you are at a store, grocery store, say, and you check out, and the person says, hey, thanks for shopping with us, what do you say? Or they say, thanks, have a nice day. What do you say? You guys in the chat. What do you guys actually say in return? I just realized the background music's been on this whole time. Tell you avoid copyright claim. Play music over everybody else's nonsense.
Are pure habit. We're basically running on autopilot most of the time. It's like watching yourself walk into a glass door in slow motion. You know it's coming, but the autopilot is too strong. But these autopilot responses actually help us. Without them, we'd have to think about every.
That's funny. Yeah, correct. Right. So if someone thanks you for patronizing their store, someone thanks you, and then you thank them back. No one says you're welcome. The convention when someone thanks you is that you say you're welcome or something along those lines. We don't do that anymore. We say thank you in return. When did that start? Does anybody know? Also, why is it that since COVID, everyone everywhere says hi, welcome in? Everywhere. Like prior to COVID, I swear nobody said it. As soon as COVID started and people were like, oh, thank God there's somebody actually coming to our stores. Everyone, restaurants, small shops, whatever. If there's a person near the door to greet, they all say, hi, welcome in. And I swear that didn't happen prior to like 2020. Yeah, no, I like the ones where they ask you if you found everything you needed. That's supposed to pressure you to buy more things. That's actually a tactic they're supposed to do in retail. But I do have a story from a long time ago where literally, I forget exactly, I think I only had like 2 items, one of which was a jumbo pack of toilet paper. And they said basically, hi, did you find everything you need? And I said, yeah, I think this is all I need. And literally replied, I got a lot of shit to do. Took them a second, but then they laughed.
Every single social interaction. You'd be mentally exhausted by lunch. Number 2, sitting in the same seat. People get weirdly territorial about seats, even when no one assigned them. You walk into a classroom or a meeting on the first day, pick a random spot, and suddenly that's your spot for the rest of the year. Break this unwritten rule.
You're my ass. That's my spot for all of eternity. If I enter that room again, that is my spot. No, this is a written rule. This is a king thing. A place for everything and everyone in their place. Parking spots at work. Or here, at home. New people move in and they start parking in your parking spot. By the way, there's a car that is clearly broke down and has been broke down for about 6 weeks, and it's got a prime parking spot. Hasn't moved in 6 weeks. Normally, they will put a ticket or something on your window, say, hey, you need to talk to us or we're going to tow your vehicle. 6 weeks, and this car has not moved once. And it made a whole lot of stains all over the parking lot before it got parked, where it's clearly broken down. My tags on my car are out for a month and a half, and I get a thing that says, we'll tow your car if you don't get the tags on your car done. Like, you don't get to police my vehicle. Like, you don't get to play law enforcement from what I got to do. I screamed at a lady in the office for leaving that note on my car. It was right after Jessica got injured, and she was literally having to crawl up the stairs every night when she got home and couldn't park close enough to where she could save a walk because they don't have handicap spots on our side of the building. They're all on the other side of the building. So I screamed at her, and I said, hey, I've got all this other shit going on. I don't give a fuck about the stupid tags on my car. And there were a lot more choice words. She just shut up. Every time she started to say something, I'm like, no, you're done talking. It was like, if you guys tow my car, you're going to have a fucking problem. It was like, I will take care of my shit when I get a chance. But right now, I got significantly more important things to do. You have a good day. Stop bothering me about this. That's how I ended that.
And people act like you've just committed a serious crime. Researchers have actually looked into this.
No, they
Turns out
haven't.
we're basically just animals marking our territory. When someone takes our unassigned assigned seat, our brains can react the
It was assigned by me.
same way as if someone invaded our personal space.
Also, we totally had assigned seats as kids. I don't know about you guys. I mean, obviously we have varying ages here, but in elementary school, we had assigned seating. The teachers, like, I guess, alphabetical order or something. I don't know exactly. Sometimes it's alphabetical by first name, whatever. Or it's whoever comes in the first day, they assign that seat to you forever. No, you're like, you start at desk 1 and you work your way around all the way to desk 20 or whatever. And from there on out, that is your spot forever. That's how I was in school.
There was this professor who did an experiment where he moved all the chairs around in his lecture hall. The students walked in, saw their usual spots were gone.
Yeah, so it's like, if they did assigned seating, like, that was kind of it. Like, on the bus, we had assigned seating on the bus, depending on who came in when you got picked up. You started filling from the back of the bus to the front, effectively. So if you got picked up first, you got sat at the back or right at the front. Because I remember seat 3 was, like, my seat for, like, 3rd and 4th grade, because the same bus driver, same route, everything. Seat 3 was my seat. That was where I had to sit, and it was assigned seating. And then if you were on the bus long enough and other people were gone, that's fine. But also, that's an easy way. If the same person sits in the same spot every single time, at a glance, especially if you're the responsible adult, you know when they're not there. This is not scientific bullshit. This is how we've done things forever. Scientists have studied this phenomenon. Assigned seating for easy roll call, and also the person responsible can go at a glance. Something's wrong. The child that is always in that seat is not there. This is not science. Nobody moved me for talking too much.
And completely lost it. Some just stood there, frozen.
That's not true.
Others wandered around looking lost, like they'd forgotten how to sit. It's not just students. At the office, if someone accidentally sits in Bob from accounting's spot during a meeting.
First of all, if he rearranged the thing and just left it all chaotic, everyone would just pick up their chairs and put them where they normally sit. That would literally happen. Right? Am I wrong that if he just took away all the desks and tables and, like, shuffled them off to the side, everyone would go grab the chair that, if it's theirs, that they like, oh, okay, this is a chair I always sit in. They would still sit in the same spot. They'll just reorganize it. They'll sit on the floor in the exact same order that they always did. Because that is the social cohesion. This is the way we've arranged ourselves. Our atoms now sit in this particular spot in this way. Why are we pretending like this is a mystery? This is how we were raised for decades upon decades in our good little factory institutions.
Bob might spend the entire meeting standing by the wall, refusing to sit anywhere else. Scientists think it's because having our spot gives us a sense of control and stability in an unpredictable environment. It's like our brains are saying, everything else in life might be chaos, but at least I know where I'm sitting.
I also might have had too much caffeine at this point.
Number 1. The volume number rule. Ever notice how you
Odds.
never leave your TV
Odds.
volume on
Always
27
odds.
or 43 or any other random
45.
number that just feels wrong? Most of us follow this weird unwritten rule about TV volumes. We either set it to an even number or a multiple of 5.
Or
and
a
if
multiple
someone
of
leaves
5,
it at
yes.
something like 37,
No, you
it
can't.
feels like they just committed a crime against
35.
humanity.
You got to
But
put
no
it
one
35
actually
or
made
40.
this rule. TV manufacturers didn't program their devices to work better at even numbers. Your speakers don't magically sound better.
Because round numbers and odd numbers are better. But actually, multiples of 5s are better. Just is what it is. So that's how you end up with a 0 or you end up with a 5. There may as well not be anything in between. It's stupid, but it's a thing. It's one thing if you if you literally swap the chairs in the same position, most people wouldn't notice. But your butts are sensitive. Like, it's a joke on The Big Bang Theory that Sheldon could tell that somebody had messed with his spot when they accidentally got a paintball shot on it. Penny flipped it over and then had it steam cleaned and everything. He could tell something was wrong. Like, because your seat and your butt are eventually made for each other at some point. Like, if someone else sat in my chair right here for like a week, I could probably tell the difference when I come and sit in it again. Like, I made the video last night and I was in the chair across the way there. That was my chair forever. Like, had that since we moved in here. And I can tell that I haven't been sitting in that chair. It's weird, but it's true.
At volume 30 than at 31. It's just something we all collectively decided was right. Studies show that people will actually sit through slightly uncomfortable volume levels just to keep it at an acceptable number. They'll leave it at 20, even if 21 would be perfect, just because 21 feels chaotic. Some people get genuinely stressed when their volume is set to a wrong number. It's like having a painting hanging slightly crooked. You just know it's not right. This is so common that there are entire online communities dedicated to discussing the correct volume numbers. Scientists think we do this because our brains love patterns and order. It finds round numbers satisfying.
I literally said this.
It's the same reason we prefer to pump gas
Pump
until
gas
it
and
hits
get
an
it to
even dollar
number,
amount,
or a
why
5.
we set our alarms for 7 instead of 7:03. Even though those extra 3 minutes of sleep sound pretty good.
You're not
The
gonna sleep
funniest
for those
part
3
is,
minutes.
this rule is so ingrained that when people find out someone doesn't follow it, they react like they've just met an alien. You watch TV at volume 27? What kind of monster are you? That's all for today.
I think I
I'll
almost
be
said that
making
word for
similar
word.
videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.
Well, odds are the cats also smell because it is your seat, so therefore they're like, okay, this is where mom sits. Fight over it. All right. Let's go ahead, because this is another 13-minute long video. Let's go ahead and do the versus battle first, and then we'll go back to doing that. All right, I gotta stretch a little bit. All right, so there's only a handful of people here, so it is what it is. Oh, we gotta convert more people to the. Morning streams. Okay, so we're gonna do O Come Emmanuel. We got 4 different versions, and we're gonna do it. It's gonna be here. But you keep it at a 5, right? A multiple of 5, or a round number. Put it at 44. Turn it to 44 right now and see if it's weird. Be honest. I also try to control the volume level because, like, obviously I hear it at a certain level, but I can see how loud it's supposed to be there because graph go up. If it's too loud, like the Fat Electrician video was, I had to turn it down because it was just too loud. Not just for me, but physically too loud over there. Okay, so we're going to start off with Geoff. Doing O Come Emmanuel, low bass singer cover, and these should all be very different. Okay, so for those who weren't here earlier, if you weren't here right off the bat, you probably all were at this point. We've got Jeff, we've got Life in 3D plus Matt and Savannah Shaw, whoever they are. I'm assuming it's these two people. And then we got the Skillet version, which for some reason is controversial, and the Christian music industry is coming after them for it. I don't know why. Maybe Trisha knows better because she follows such things. And then we've got the original one we watched quite some time ago with Melinda. All right, so. Right.
O come, Emmanuel.
Also, we're going with Jeff and the Four Jeffs.
And ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
I will say the bass is hurting my ears a little bit. There we go.
Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight.
Maybe it's just my my headphones, but the percussion is really drowning out his voice.
Come, thou Key of David, come and
Like the
open
drums are really
wide our heavenly home. Make safe the way that leads on high, and close the path to misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel. Shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
A vocal fry there at the end. Not terrible, not terrible. Little unnecessary bass in there, but you know, I'm gonna, for time's sake, I'm gonna shorten it here. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that thing about demonic, which I find crazy. We'll listen to it. We'll find out. Hopefully not get shut down. Okay, so let's go over to Life in 3D's version. In a barn.
Oh come, Emmanuel,
Pretty voice.
and ransom captive Israel
That mourns in lonely
while here until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel
shall come to thee, O Israel.
Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here.
All right, I gotta check something right quick. It's all right. I hate interrupting things, but I need to check my audio settings right quick. Nope. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Okay. I don't know if that's more sound settings. No. I'm just checking because, like, every now and then, like, they've got the, doesn't seem like it. You know, basically, like, a different EQ.
Disperse the gloomy clouds of night,
And death's dark shadows put to flight.
oh, rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Oh, come thou rod of Jesse free, thine known from Satan's tyranny.
From depths of hell thy people save, and give them victory o'er the grave. And give them victory o'er the grave.
And give us victory o'er the grave. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O
These five sound pretty good together. Yeah, so all these videos are like 4.5 minutes, but they're clearly like long outros for whatever reason. Ear itches. All right, pausing there because everything after that doesn't matter for the versus battle. Okay. Okay. Something I haven't put on in a little while. We're gonna put up the. My filter button's not working. Why for is my filter button not working? Hold on. Why is that not functioning? Weird. I have to reconnect that. There we go. All right, it's a Vivo video. It's Skillet. Let's go. Let's see how demonic this is.
Oh, come, Emmanuel.
Hospital.
And ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. Oh, come thou root of Jesse free, thine own from Satan's tyranny. From depths of hell thy people save, and give them victory o'er the grave. Rejoice, rejoice.
Okay, at this point, I don't know what you're talking about, so I assume it's going to get heavier.
Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
God is with us. He's with us now. Oh, come, Emmanuel.
Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice.
Okay, one thing I'll say about the production end of this has a higher quality production than the other two songs because I can hear the voices even over the music being loud. Slightly better production on that. I will say that John's voice is very not fit for what this song usually does. It moves around quite a lot vocally, and he's very flat in his, alternative rock voice. I like what they're doing with it, but like I'm more than halfway through this song and I'm like, I haven't heard anything demonic yet. But if he does a growl, whoop-de-doo. Have they never heard Demon Hunter? Never heard Red? And it's like, come on.
Shall come to thee, O Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O
Okay. Major metal shift there. Okay. So, the only thing I would say that was remotely demonic there is the red flashing stuff and the fact that they went from like the very cool dark and now we've got like full color, grungy, whatever. But once again, there are literal like heavy metal, death metal type Christian bands that do worship, quote unquote, worship music. These people got to get over themselves. Holy crap. Nice. Give me more metal Christmas music. That'd probably be better. Should watch the Michael Knowles reaction. So I'm gonna say that people need to get over their shit. That is so stupid because I don't know if Christians know this. Supposedly, what was Jesus? Because I'm pretty sure he was the lion and the lamb. Sips coffee meme. Come on, you morons. It's the problem was I was like, this is pretty light for Skillet, and then raw. There we go. Finally, Skillet enters the chat. God, people had nothing good to complain about. All right, either way, I'm gonna Okay, I gotta fix that button. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. What is wrong with this button? What broke? Scene is IDHTMS source filter. Oh, what happened here? Okay. There it is. Probably work now. There it goes. Buttons get disconnected sometimes. All right. Either way. Last one. So this was basically one of the things that really... I thought I muted that. Okay. Yeah, right? Kingdom Core. Sorry, I'm going to read this out loud. So, just a reminder that the enemy doesn't need the secular scene to hate Christian metal. They already do. What the enemy really wants is to use these ignorant or self-righteous Christians, especially those who think it's demonic, to diminish the gospel-centered work that is the Christian metal scene. It's such a self-defeating argument. If metal truly was demonic in nature, why would the enemy want the word of God to infiltrate it? Darkness cannot overcome the light, John 1:5. Stop fearing the enemy more than you fear God. There is nothing like suspense and anxiety for barricading a human's mind against the enemy. C.S. Lewis. Nice. If fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, how unwise and unknowledgeable do we become when we fear this world more than him? Wow. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, good point. All right. Last one, we got Melinda. Kind of made her famous. All right, so what she did is she did this. She just happened to have time in this, I forget where in Europe they were, in this chapel, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the cathedral? And so she just acapellas this, and she comes back later to do a full song from it. You know, this is our redheaded goddess, or was at least. I think that's just a cappella with an iPhone. guys, do the voting thing. Put them in order. There were 4. Don't forget there were 4. And no, I wasn't going to put Lauren Paley up against her, even though that's a good one, too. All right, so Christine, 4213. Okay, skill at last. Got it. I mean, there's a whole 3 of y'all watching. 4132. Okay. But Jeff's in second. Interesting. Wait, you put you put Life in 3D last? Okay. That's interesting. For those, if you forgot, it was Jeff, Life in 3D, Skillet, then Melinda. And I'm one of the 4 people watching, so excuse me. I'm literally gonna go 4, 2, 3, 1 in this case. I'm putting Jeff at the back. I did not like that bass cover, and the production. His percussion was way too loud. Once again, could be headphone thing, could be whatever, but it's just I think that Jeff's was the weakest. Skillet was a lot of fun. I love the metal part of it. Honestly, and I'd put Skillet above Jeff, but definitely not above Life in 3D. But the main part of the song, I feel like John's just rocker voice was like not doing the song a lot of justice. It was very pretty still, but it wasn't that great. But once I got to the metal part, I'm like, yes, this is what I want from this. I want the demonic Christian music, apparently. Well, I guess I watch a lot of K-pop Demon Hunter stuff, so I guess technically, yes, I do want some more demonic music. Have I mentioned K-pop Demon Hunter's awesome, and you guys should watch it. Either way, that was fun. We don't do a whole lot of Christmas verses. Oh, my leg hurts. Also, I realize now that it's 10:15, and I haven't had breakfast, and my head hurts. Too much coffee, no breakfast, no vitamins, no blood pressure meds, nothing. I need to take a break. I was going to watch the other one, but, it'll hold. I'm going to go have breakfast with the wifey, make my breakfast casserole. Once again, I forgot the frickin' potatoes. Forgot how to do that. It's fine. Yeah, none of them were bad, but definitely Melinda's was the best out of that. So it might warrant coming back maybe Christmas week or New Year's week. Come back and do another one with a few other people, maybe. Very close back-to-back thing. We don't want to hear it a lot. We don't want to hear 12 versions of the song per week. That would get old very, 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 very fast. Either way, but if you are interested and you haven't seen this video, go check out Habitual Line Crosser. Actually, you know what? I will do everyone a favor, and I will put it in the chat. If you haven't seen Habitual Line Crosser, he is part of the unsub groups. He tends to kind of avoid main political topics, but it's a funny way for him to do news. And, he is doing the eyes and mouth talking, doing characters, and I think he's up to like 20 some odd characters now in his HLC world. But it's a problem when Franklin goes missing, because Franklin is supposed to be watching the kid, and if he's gone, then nobody's paying attention to what the kid is doing, and if you can't have the kid going off his leash, that's bad for everybody. So either way, I'm going to go get my day started, get some food eaten, and take some ibuprofen because my head is now hurting. Too much coffee once again. So if you guys like the Sunday format, make sure you spread the word, get more people in here to come watch the Sunday morning format. I kind of like it, because we're really not doing much of anything on Sunday mornings at this point. And, don't want to do it all the time, but a couple times a month will be fun. And I want to do more discussion based. Right now we're still doing halfway into reacting stuff, but that's fine. I would like to get into bigger discussions about stuff. So if you guys have topics you want to hear me talk about, or get my opinion on, do that. Also, I need to got to put everything away now. I got to recover my quack bang, which is now way up under the desk. And of course, guys, if you want to help support this channel, you can go check out the Shoky Reviews Patreon. It is linked down below somewhere. You can be cool like Trisha, Denise, the Lauras, a few other people that are there all the time for us. Tara, shout out to Tara. Tara's awesome. We will have an extra trivia night. I'm going to not skip a week in the middle of the month because not going to be doing this here. So probably going to do it not Christmas Eve, but probably going to do it the Tuesday before Christmas Eve. So we'll have to, because obviously, whatever. So either way, come check out the Patreon, and you can get all kinds of cool, fun stuff. Like tomorrow, there will be the uncut version of the podcast we recorded last week. That will be up for everybody tomorrow at some point. I don't do it first thing in the morning anymore because nobody watches it that early. So if I can get it done by lunchtime or evening time, people tend to watch it after that. So either way, I'll see you guys later. Have a good week until I see y'all on Wednesday and whatever day we end up doing a normal stream. Once again, send me some topics, email, messages, whatever. And I guess we have to do some more Christmas stuff at some point. I hope Tom Bet George has something coming. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Funicorn. Get a nice Funicorn. 0x0. The trophy of apathy. Get your Funicorn in your week. I don't think they're doing the Black Friday sale, so I hope you were following my page when I posted the fact they were literally giving away Funicorns and Apocalypse ponies, by the way. I got the glow in the dark. Did I get the Spirit World? I think I'm missing one of them. Crap. I should have taken advantage. Either way, see you guys later. Remember, as always, it doesn't have to make sense. But I got to go get potatoes. Bye, guys.